Take it out to Vegas, where the lights shine bright. Vegas, in the clear desert night. Vegas, where they can make you a star. Vegas, at the NFR.
NFR Extra is a podcast dedicated to the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo and features icons and personalities that embody the Western lifestyle.
How big's the family going to end up being?
I don't know. I used to say 3 or 4, but now I'm saying 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Like in the WCRA events, when you get to pick your horses, I always try to pick the biggest horse that is good, consistently good. The little horses, my legs are too long. My feet don't even hit their neck a lot of times. So I've been very blessed to be able to surround myself with people like that have been to the top level and know how to get there and give me advice throughout the years.
This is 2-time world champion Paul Eves, and you are listening to NFR Extra.
We've got a million reasons to talk to this guy, and he is one of the newest 7-digit cowboys in the world of pro rodeo, R.C. Landingham. How does it feel, my friend? I mean, that's the biggest question of all.
Well, I finally have a little bit of money, so it feels good.
So you've made friends with a banker, I assume.
Yeah, a few of them. We're kind of getting it put away in different places and trying to be as safe as I can with it, but letting them make a little bit of money at the same time.
So when you have a chance like that at $1 million in that Triple Crown event, you have to think about it, right? It can't be something that you're just blocking out and, I'm just thinking about one horse at a time. Like, you have to be thinking about it, right?
Yeah, it was always kind of in the back of my mind, but luckily I had 10 days in Vegas to think about, and I had a lot of other stuff going on. So it kind of kept me calm about going to ride for $1 million. Even during the finals, I had a lot of guys asking about it, when I was headed to Texas, and I'm like, I'm still at the NFR. I still got stuff to here. I'll focus on that later. But no, I handled the pressure pretty good until the day of, and then that was a rough day. It was the roughest day I've ever been through, for sure.
I think talking about the NFR, I'm going to jump right into this one, man. But I don't know that you could have written a better story for you to win the round that you did on Tough Enough to Wear Pink.
Yeah.
So what did that? I mean, that had to have been for you, for Ty, for the whole family. That had to have been just mind blowing. Talk us, for those that don't know, maybe kind of give us a little bit of background on that deal and why that was so important to you.
Yeah. So my mom passed away from ovarian cancer back in 2017. Tough Enough to Wear Pink night, obviously cancer awareness. And then the horse that I got on that was last year. I got on Top Flight in that same round, and that was the last horse that she ever got to see me get on. The 10th round of 2016. That's the last horse she ever seen me get on. So last year I got on Top Flight in the 5th round. Pink night. Ty made me the pink chaps, has mom's name in it, and then I got to get on that horse again last year. And then this year I got on Top Notch, another one of Colin Pickett's great horses, and to get to go around win on the pink night was, I don't know, it was pretty amazing just to get around win, and then to have it be on that night in particular was, I don't know, words don't really describe it. It's kind of just a cool feeling to kind of reconnect with mom again after so many years of her being gone.
Right.
That's just a special night for us. A lot of people that, like myself, Casey, a lot of us have lost family to cancer, and to be able to have success on a night like that was pretty special.
Yeah, that's unreal, man. That was like, when you did that, I was like, man, mom has got to be smiling right now, man. That was pretty special for those of us that know you. And I mean, just a stand-up guy, and just holy cow, that was amazing to see.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think she's been riding with me quite a bit the last couple of months, so I give a lot of credit to her.
That's awesome, man. And your little boy kind of has a little bit of mom's legacy passed on to her grandson too, huh?
Oh
Just
yeah.
for namesake wise.
Yeah. So his name's Win, and everybody always asks, so did you name him Win, like for winning rodeos? And I'm like, no, I'm actually, my mom's name is Wendy. She passed away. And then everybody's like, oh, I feel horrible for saying that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he kind of carries her name a little bit in a way. So it's pretty cool.
That's cool. And is he 2 or how old is he now? 3?
He's a year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay. Just enough to be climbing up on cabinets and opening drawers and following dad whenever he can.
Oh yeah. He's getting into everything. He's turning into a little turd now, but he's a lot of fun, just changing every day. And there's some things we wish he would start to do, but he's kind of making us be as patient as we can. So I guess it'll come when it comes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How are you at changing diapers?
I'm actually pretty good at it. It doesn't bother me too much.
Okay. All right.
Now, before you were changing diapers or competing at all these fantastic things, the Triple Crown, the National Finals Rodeo, I'm going to jump back because you have stats in both Oregon State High School Rodeo and California State High School Rodeo. Can you tell me a little bit about that journey?
Yeah, so I grew up in California, high school rodeo through my sophomore year in California. And then after that, I moved to Pendleton, Oregon, and we lived there for about 10 years. And high school rodeo there for my junior and senior year. And then I went to college there and college rodeo there for a few years. And then I started pro rodeo.
There's also a stat here about cutting horses.
Yeah, I was involved with it for a while. It was, I get made fun of quite a bit from my high school days. My freshman and sophomore year where I was in the cutting, but I didn't really know what the heck I was doing. And a lot of the actual cutters kind of made fun of me.
So that, not only that too, but I had an opportunity to watch you come through the high school ranks, and as you know, the little, hey, this kid's pretty handy at the New Year's Eve bull ridings and stuff there in Red Bluff. But you were you kind of had a lot of potential for being a bull rider going on. So what was the transition from that to just go straight to bareback horses?
Well, bull riding, I don't think I stopped growing in height until I was like 22 or 23 years old. So learning how to ride bulls, I was a short, little tiny kid. And then I would grow 5 inches and kind of have to learn it all over again. So it was kind of, I just kept learning how to do it over and over and over again. And then I got hurt pretty bad at Houston one year, and it just kind of took it out of me. I didn't really want to do it anymore. And I started riding bareback horses a little bit better. I wasn't as good at it at the time, but I was going to do one of them no matter what. And once I got hurt in the bull riding, I didn't really crave it anymore. Then I just really started focusing on bareback riding and wanted to progress in that.
Were there some guys that pushed you early on? I mean, you won the college finals, and so you had success in high school and then obviously at the college level, but were there guys that pushed you and kind of kept raising that bar and making you set your expectations higher?
Well, all through rodeo, my stepdad he gets all the credit for me even being involved with it, really, because I probably wouldn't have rodeoed if I wouldn't have met him. So he's always kind of pushed me to rodeo and to be better at it and to work at it and all those things. As far as other help I've been around top level competitors my entire life, also because of him being friends with Kelly Wardell and guys of that, like Clint Corey and Larry and Larry Sambic, and I've been very blessed to be able to surround myself with people like that have been to the top level and know how to get there and give me advice throughout the years. Kelly Wardell's been my biggest mentor by far. I've spent many days with him, like in between rodeos, swinging by his house, riding his bucking machine, getting some pointers from him here and there. And he's been like a father figure to me since I was 12 years old. So he's helped me a lot throughout my career, and that's been huge blessing.
Nice. You had shoulder deal. Did you have shoulder surgery a couple years back, or just was it a shoulder or elbow, or what were you dealing with a year or so? Was it a year or 2 years ago?
Yeah. So 2016, I went to the NFR for my first year. Then mom passed away in 17. And then I took about a month break and decided to start rodeoing again. And the year was going fantastic. I was sitting first in the world in 2017, and I had a horse fall down and dislocated my shoulder at a circuit rodeo in California. And I tried to rodeo off and on throughout the year. My shoulder kept dislocating. Slipped down to like 13th in the standings and had to start rodeoing towards the end of the year. And then was lucky enough to win enough to keep me in the top 15. So I made my second NFR that year in 2017. And then the NFR was terrible. I think I won one check in 10 days. And so I had a shoulder surgery, rotator cuff surgery in January of 2018. Took 9 months off, started rodeoing in 19. And then it never really felt 100%. It was just unstable, not real strong. And I had to wear a big brace, and it just didn't feel right. I couldn't ride like I wanted to. And I rode about half of that season, and I was sitting okay in the standings, like close, maybe top 20 or so. I can't remember. Got on a horse in Central Oregon and dislocated again. Took a couple of weeks off, went to a couple of rodeos over the 4th of July and dislocated it 2 more times. So that called it a season. Went home, got married, had another shoulder surgery shortly after that. Took 4 months off. I was doing therapy out in Texas, and it didn't feel right, but I was planning on going to Houston that year. That was 2020. And I went and got a checkup with Tandy Freeman because he did the second surgery. And I had pushed it too hard in therapy and broke one of the screws off and broke the bone that they had moved and screwed into my shoulder to rebuild the socket, and it didn't work. So I had to go back in and have another surgery. So I sat out all of 2020 and then came back in February 2021. And then I made the finals again last year, or 2021 and last year.
That's pretty impressive because something like that really, that's kind of one of them game enders, you know? So what was the process of that? Obviously you had the last surgery worked well, but I mean, you look like the finals really showed, I think, what top physical peak shape that you're in right now, but what kind of a rehabilitation, physical and mental, did you go through to get yourself back on top of the game?
Yeah, it was the first 2 surgeries. I didn't really think about it too much. So I was like, going into the second one. So the first one, I was like, well, I'll have surgery, get it fixed. I've been through a lot of injuries. So I'm like, get me in surgery, get it fixed. I'll come back. No big deal. The first one failed, came back the second one. That failed. Then I had to have the third one. Then it's kind of, you're married, you have potentially having a kid soon. There's a lot going on in your mind. Like, is this going to work? Is it worth the risk of doing it all over again? So it was hard to come back after the third surgery, but my wife and I've been unemployed or out of competition anyways for 2 years. And I had the surgery. I was feeling pretty good. And we had decided with her support that I needed to give it one more shot. So I let it heal for quite a while this time, I think 4 or 5, maybe 6 months. And then I started training with Doug Champion. I did therapy here close to home for a couple months, just light therapy. And then I started training with Doug Champion, and we did just therapy for a couple months. And then as it started feeling stronger and more stable, we started progressing. And I still train with him 3 years later. And I have to make sure I stay up on top of it, because even if I take a week off, I can feel it getting unstable again and losing strength pretty easily. So that was a big game changer, starting to train with him and just changing my day-to-day routine. was a huge game changer as far as my rodeo career goes.
Let's take a quick pause, and we'll be right back. Looking to rope in some news and features you can't find anywhere else? Then look no further than the series of blogs at NFRExperience.com. You'll find customized content from experts in all things rodeo and Las Vegas. There's the NFR Insider, NFR Traveling Partners, and One-on-One with Susan Canode, Hurley's Hotspots and Heart of the NFR with Brian Hurlbert, NFR Experience with Patrick Everson, and the Junior World Finals with Jack Nowlin. There's something for all rodeo fans. Check it out at NFRExperience.com. Because legacies and memories are made in Vegas.
I was just curious, what will your day-to-day routine look like moving forward?
Well, I'm not sure if you're referring to that $1 million or referring to rodeo or what. But no, like right now we still have cows at the ranch, so I'm out feeding cows every morning and try to go to the gym every day throughout the week. I leave tomorrow to head to Fort Worth, go to Fort Worth for the stock show there, and then I'll have a week off after that, and then I'll come home and I'll go back out for San Antonio, maybe Jackson, Mississippi, the American Houston. I'll be gone hopefully till the short round Houston's over, and then I'll come home and we'll be back to moving cows around. We got to ship home in April or May, so we'll brand calves down in the valley in April and do some spring rodeos out here in California, and just the same routine though. Wake up, feed cows, go to the gym, try to eat 4 times a day. Same stuff.
I can't eat 4 times a day.
Yeah.
That's just going to make the dad bod bigger. But we're not on the same workout routine either.
Yeah.
So, RC, my biggest question, because as a rodeo announcer, I've always said he's a taller guy. That makes it different. And I'm not a tall guy, and I've never ridden bareback. So I'm assuming that being a tall bareback rider makes a big difference. But is it true? Are there different types of horses that you, being a lankier guy, you would prefer to get on?
Yeah, I try, like in the WCRA events, when you get to pick your horses, I always try to pick the biggest horse that is good, consistently good. The little horses, my legs are too long. My feet don't even hit their neck a lot of times. So it makes a big difference. And then like my upper body's longer also. So when a horse kicks, I get the brunt of it in the back of my neck, where it kind of breaks me over, and where most guys, it's going to hit them kind of in the head, which sounds worse, but it keeps their body more intact. So there's a lot of differences, pros and cons to both sides of it, I would say. But I used to say it's even. It's the same for a tall guy as it is a short guy, but the older I get and physically, it's definitely a disadvantage for a tall guy.
What going forward on this deal, it's got to be hard not to look at, in my opinion anyways, and I don't know anything, but an end game. I mean, you've won $1 million. Mm-hmm. You had a pretty spectacular rehabilitation and comeback. You've qualified for the National Final Rodeo multiple times. Are we still feeling healthy enough to where that's not in the picture yet? Or are you kind of looking at maybe building boots and running cows?
I've thought about it a lot. And I'm not ready to be done yet, but I know it's coming sooner than later. So I hope for 3-4 more years, but I'm just kind of taking it 1 year at a time right now. And I still have a lot of goals that I haven't achieved. So I'm still focused on being a world champion. And that's the goal now, is to go get those buckles that I haven't won yet. There's a lot of other big rodeos that I still want to win as well. So that's the main goal right now, is take care of my body, get on the horses that I can win on, don't get on stuff that I don't have to. I've never financially been able to rodeo like I can now. So it's I'm going to be able to take care of myself a lot better than I have in the past. So I think I have the best opportunity I've ever had to win a world championship now. So that's the plan.
That's got to be a huge relief too. I mean, to have an opportunity to get that much money to where, like you said, now I don't have to go take a gamble on a horse that I don't really want to get on. You're prolonging the longevity of a healthy body. So, I mean, you're kind of making a concoction for, like you said, a real serious run at a world championship.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I remember when I was in my early 20s, I would go every single rodeo I could possibly go to just to get by, to try to win a check to pay my fees that week. And I've never had, I mean, the last 4 or 5 years, I've been able to pick and choose a little bit and not have to get on everything. But now I can go enter the big rodeos. I don't have to enter all the little rodeos that you don't want to go to, or that, you know, you'd rather spend a day at home with your family than have to go get on a horse for $300 here or there. And so I can eliminate a lot of things that I used to have to do and take care of myself and focus on the end result.
That's awesome.
So I know you have the legacy around you, but are you talented with leather goods, or is that kind of a work in progress?
It's a work in progress for sure.
Okay.
I can do some stuff. I mean, I've had a good mentor in that for a long time. So for somebody that would just want to go step into doing a little bit of leather work, I can give a little advice on some things, and I can build some stuff if I really wanted to. I'm not huge into it. I'm not real artistic, but I can do it fairly decent for the most part. And as far as running cows and stuff, I imagine we live on a big, my in-laws have a big ranch up here in Northern California. So I'm sure we'll be involved with that for probably the rest of our lives. So I got a lot of things going on.
How big's the family going to end up being?
I don't know. I used to say 3 or 4, but now I'm saying 1 or 2.
Yeah. Funny how that changes. Yeah. I want a big family. Two's plenty.
Yeah. I love puppies and kids until they get just a little bit older.
Yeah. We're gonna go for 2 for sure, and then we'll see after that.
Nice. Can we give a plug for Ty Skyver and Skyver boots and leather, or is that too soon?
No, we can do whatever.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is,
I think you just did.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, just checking. But it's pretty cool too. Ty is really broken on the scene as far as, you know, I mean, the guy's leather work is absolutely insane, but it's not just building shaps for you. I mean, if you're a rough stock guy and you want the best set of shaps going down the road, it seems like the top guys in the world all are sporting Skyver shaps.
Yeah. I think there were 5 of us at the NFR last year that had his shaps on, and in the locker room, I think by the end of the week, I would say 12 out of the 15 bareback riders, just in the bareback riding, were wearing Skyver boots as well. So his leather work is unreal. He can do stuff with a pencil and a knife that I mean, it's just, I don't know how you can get pictures put into leather like he can.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. He's always been really talented, and now he's running they got him and Darcy Sparrow have this business going, and it's really taken off this last year. And he's really kind of turned his artwork into a business, and it's going really well for him.
That's awesome. Yeah. Very, very talented and impressive to see. I've got a Skyver belt, and I think that I'm going to try to hold on to that thing till it falls apart, because I might not be able to get another one.
Well, we bumped into him. What did he? I was talking to him about a pair of shaps, and he was like, "Do you need them at Vegas during December?" And he goes, "When do you need them? By Reno?" He was like, "I mean, get in line."
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty backed up with stuff, but it's good. Business is always good. So
absolutely,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. And then, so does your family get to travel with you much during rodeo time, or just kind of pick and choose on that deal? Or
yeah, just kind of pick and choose. They'll fly out for some of the bigger rodeos throughout the year. Like they'll go out to the American, and I'm back to back at the American in Houston, so they'll probably end up staying for that week. And And then like we'll go to Cheyenne or Pendleton or things like that throughout the year, the bigger rodeos where we stay in one place for a few days. So yeah, I try to get them out there anytime I can. And then I fly home a lot more now than I used to also.
I understand that completely. So obviously you want to be a world champ, but what money aside, what rodeos do you have on your list that you're like, God, I got 3 to 4 years. I really want to check these off and say, hey, this one's on my resume.
Yeah. Well, Cheyenne and Houston are the main two. I've won second, and third at Cheyenne, and I've won second and third at Houston. So I really, really like to get those. But Fort Worth, I haven't won. Denver, I haven't won, but I didn't even enter Denver this year. I was kind of sore after all the hectic December run. So I skipped that one. But Fort Worth, San Antonio, I would love to win that one. Houston, Cheyenne. I got Pendleton, Salinas the last couple of years. So, but I'd love to take another shot at those ones too. Yeah, Pendleton's, that's a pretty cool rodeo. They make the whole experience. It's kind of, I think that one in Cheyenne are probably unlike most other rodeos as far as everything you go through when you win it and what the awards they give you. And it's, they're the memorabilia at both of those rodeos is kind of top notch.
That's awesome. What's your favorite rodeo that you've won that's already on the checklist?
Pendleton and Salinas.
Yeah.
So is there a Pendleton corner, like where you have all your goodies?
What's that? Is there a Pendleton corner?
Yeah. Is there a Pendleton like corner of the house where you keep all the stuff that you won from there?
Yeah, I kind of got it all in one corner in the we got a little trophy room over here. But once we get a place bought, I'm going to have a nice trophy room set up, and then hopefully we can do this again and I'll show everybody all the stuff in there. But,
there you go. That's awesome.
Be the NFR Extra Cribs edition.
That's right.
There you go. I just got to get the crib first.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
So, well, that's awesome, man. I can't wait to see you back at it. And there would be nothing cooler than watch you win a world championship and kind of put the final legacy on top of that shelf for wearing that gold buckle. And I can't imagine there's a bunch of great guys in the bareback world, but you're definitely inside, outside of the arena, RC, you've been a champion. And I think definitely somebody for a lot of people, not just in the bareback side, but for a lot of people to look up to. So I'm very proud of you and for everything that you've done, and really excited to see what this next chapter brings to you.
Thank you, Steve. I really appreciate that.
Thanks for joining us, brother. Keep being who you are.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Want to experience more of the NFR? Then visit nfrexperience.com, and we invite you to subscribe to NFR Extra on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you're listening right now. If you like what you've heard on NFR Extra, we would love it if you gave us a 5-star rating and tell your friends how to subscribe.